So hey guys, it's Zyant again, and I would be using Black Ops 2 footage for this particular commentary, but unfortunately I'm all out, as I've been playing other games, or not been getting good enough games in Black Ops 2 to post. And I know I've said that Black Ops 2 is a game I can turn my brain off in, and that's true for the most part, but there are some nights that it's just, I get so angry that, and my game gets so terrible that I don't have the ability to get the footage I need, and my brain doesn't turn off, and it's not easy. But the main issue at hand here is server browsers, and why certain games, namely Call of Duty, but even Battlefield to some extent, have eschewed the standard server browser in favor of something quite different. With Battlefield 3, you have Battlelog, which technically is a form of server browser. You have a list of servers, you can filter by various parameters to find out exactly what you want, and you can join servers as you please. So in that sense, it is a server browser. But it's not a server browser because the standard thinking behind what makes a server browser is that it's within the game. It's a browser that you open within the game, that you set parameters within the game, and that you can leave, but still be in the game and play. DICE, and I imagine EA to some extent, decided that they needed to implement a browser, internet browser-based server browser. And I'm getting very redundant now, and I realize that, and I apologize. And then we have Black Ops 2, which takes this very interesting approach. They say, well, we're going to have dedicated servers. And then they give us a matchmaking system. And people are thinking, this can't be dedicated servers, it's matchmaking. It must be peer-to-peer. And then we do some research and find out it actually is dedicated servers, but there's no server browser. It's using a console concept to allow us to get into games. And you go back to Modern Warfare 3, which had no server browser and no dedicated servers except for private matches, which was just sort of silly. And you go back to the original Black Ops, which had fine server browsers with fully customizable abilities, and things were fine. Go back to Modern Warfare 2, again, no server browsers. In fact, that was the game that sort of started the whole, we're going to do matchmaking and matchmaking only because that's what works for Xbox. People hated it. And you had Ultra IWNet, followed by 4 Delta 1, allow for dedicated servers and a server browser for Modern Warfare 2. Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 2, 1942, 1943, 2142, all of them had standard server browsers that were completely customizable so long as you kept within a certain set of parameters. And I wonder, why is it that developers think that a server browser isn't necessary? And there's various answers for that. One, with a server browser, and with dedicated servers, and then server files, you can modify certain things about the game that developers didn't intend. For example, in the original Black Ops, a lot of servers were increased player count, increased kill count, increased a lot of things, and especially with COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2, when you go back into COD 4, there's very few people playing the standard 6v6 TDM domination, whatever it is. They're playing 30 on 30 team deathmatch on 24/7 Chinatown. Which is silly because that's not even a very good map. But that's not the way the developers intended it to be played. Nor is it the way they designed Chinatown to be played. Because Chinatown doesn't have nearly the space to safely occupy 30 people, let alone 60. And that's fine, as far as logic goes, but I think it goes down to a more fundamental thing. With both Battlelog and Call of Duty Elite, Treyarch and DICE, or as you like it, Activision and EA, are trying to create their own sort of Xbox Live for the PC, or for those who don't want to use Xbox Live. And so they're trying to create their own communities using their own proprietary services that they can do whatever they like with, and no one can do anything about it. And one of the things I notice that happens with most server browser-based games is that you'll have a server, and around that server, a community will grow. And if it grows large enough, the server provider will need money in order to keep the server running. And so he'll offer a VIP service that people can donate to, and they'll get special privileges for, I don't know, they might get invincibility at the end of the round in TF2, or they might get reserve slots above and beyond a premium service, like those offered by Battlefield 3 Premium. Or for Call of Duty, they might get access to a secret gun, or a combination of guns that doesn't unbalance the game because it's been tested a whole lot. But it is fun to use and is sort of silly. And DICE, and EA, and Activision, and Treyarch, and Infinity Ward saw this and saw that there is an awful lot of money changing hands. And regardless of the fact that a lot of it is just to keep these servers running, they saw that there was enough money going around that there are some serious options for profit. And because Activision and EA control access to their dedicated servers, they control where the communities grow. And if they can control where the communities grow, they can control the flow of currency. And if they can control the flow of currency, they can maximize profits. And Activision and EA, being huge, giant mega businesses at this point, they want to do that as much as is humanly possible. But by deleting the option of a server browser, you are eliminating a lot of what draws people to a PC title in the first place. There are games, of course, like Skyrim and Far Cry, that are still trying really hard to hold together that old guard of, we can have a good single-player experience that is equal across all platforms. PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. All of them can be equal in quality and enjoyment, so long as it's a single-player game, and single-player is still important. Now, these games have multiplayer, and the multiplayer is fine. And without having actually played any, I'm not sure if there's a server browser in any of them. But if there is, it's likely because the developer realizes that the server browser is a very important part of the PC experience, and has been for a long, long time. And even though we ask for innovation, and we ask for all these things that we don't yet have, that we don't yet know we want, there are some things PC players like myself, and like all of those who were playing before with Quake and all that, one of the core things that just makes it feel like a PC experience, that's the server browser. And taking it out makes it feel like you're playing on Xbox. And as much as I love the Xbox sometimes, I didn't buy a PC to play my Xbox.